What's going on, everyone? Hope you're all doing well. Today, I want to talk about a subject, anabolism. The way that I've read it defined is the construction of larger molecules from smaller units, right? So if we're talking about bodybuilding, what it is we're doing, it is the construction of muscle tissue from proteins, right? Pretty basic. We all understand this. The process requires energy, and whereas anabolism is the building up of larger molecules, catabolism is the breaking down, right? We know this. We go to the gym, we train, we break down muscle tissue, we eat, we rebuild bigger and stronger. Very simple. However, when we talk about the introduction of an anabolic substance, now that can mean a lot of different things. Food in itself is anabolic. Insulin is an anabolic hormone. Testosterone and all the various derivatives of it and all the synthetic anabolic steroids are highly anabolic. There's amino acids can be anabolic. Creatine can be anabolic in that they all will help to create a positive nitrogen balance. They will help to drive protein synthesis, and they will help to drive the anabolic process, the muscle building process. Now, that said, nothing guarantees, if you're not training properly, if you're not eating adequately, it doesn't matter what you use, be it, an over-the-counter supplement or straight up, prescription grade anabolic, use some good old testosterone. It's not going to do much for you if everything isn't in order. So I know a lot of you guys have thought about this. I'm sure a lot of you guys have executed this in practice. But I want to talk about it today in a way that maybe you guys haven't thought about before to maybe make better sense out of all of this. So we all understand that we eat and we train to build bigger muscle, get stronger, perform better. Okay. I look at it like this. If I were to go to the store and buy 5 pounds of chicken breast and, so many pounds of beef or, whatever protein I'm buying, I put it on my table, I come home. That is literally another animal's muscle, okay? Chicken breast, beef, that is just straight up muscle tissue. And I'm looking for a way to basically transform that into my own muscle tissue, right? I can't just take it and slap it on. I wish it was that easy, but it's not. So how do we take this muscle and transform it into our muscle? I need to create a need for it. What is the need for it? The need is the gym. So you go to the gym and you train. Yes, your form is important. Yes, the number of sets and reps and all that stuff is relevant. But what a lot of people lose sight of is the fact that you go to the gym to create the largest possible demand for this stuff sitting on your table, this food that contains the building blocks of the muscle that you hope to build. So you go to the gym, train your ass off, hoping that you will create a large enough stimulus so that you can go home and make use of as much food as possible. Now, when you get really, really good at that and you've learned to train with massive intensity and you're doing all the right things outside of the gym, you're giving yourself adequate rest, and you're eating enough calories, you're doing everything right, it is inevitable that you are going to eventually hit a wall, right? It doesn't matter what intensity techniques you employ, you will eventually top out. So it then does become a logical thing to look outside and say, is there something I can use to drive the anabolic process? What does that mean? That means, how can I make use of more protein? And that's really what we're talking about, right? We go to the gym, create the demand for food. What does an anabolic substance do? It helps you to use more food faster, basically helps you to recover faster, utilize more food more quickly. Because anyone who has been training long enough can attest to recovery ultimately becomes the limiting factor, right? You can go to the gym, you could spend more time in the gym, you can train like a demon, all right? But eventually you can't recover from it. And it doesn't matter how much you eat. You could give your body all the food it can handle, and you're only going to digest a certain amount of it, and you're only going to utilize a certain amount of it. Anabolic substances increase your ability to utilize more protein, more food, to recover more fully and faster. So now that that's happening, you can train even harder. You could train longer. You can train with greater frequency. And what are you doing? You're creating an even greater, an even more massive demand for those building blocks. So, it's a cycle, no pun intended. Great, right? So just trying to put it away that maybe you guys haven't really thought of it before. Okay, so does that mean you have to run out and use anabolic steroids? No, it does not. And a lot of you watching this, chances are you have never used those substances, and you're looking for something to, help bump up your recovery process, just maximize your eating and your training and get more out of it. There's two products from Animal that I want to tell you about: Animal Stak and Animal M-Stak, right? And Animal Stak basically works via boosting your testosterone level, right? Which, again, there's a saying that goes, "Test is best." And testosterone is kind of the daddy of all anabolics, in that it's what's natural to your body. It's what drives not only anabolism, but also the development of secondary sexual characteristics. It's evenly anabolic and androgenic. It's a good substance. It works, right? It's how you go from looking a certain way at 13 years old, at the beginning maybe of puberty, to looking the way you look at 19, 20 years old, at the tail end of puberty, right? Testosterone. It works. So, but does that mean you have to run out and take testosterone? No. There are certain things you can look to first, like I'm saying: Animal Stak, M-Stak. Stak works, like I just said, via boosting testosterone, right? It contains a whole bunch of ingredients that have been proven to boost testosterone, as well as ingredients that have been proven to fight estrogen, which becomes a challenge. A lot of people, you run out, you use testosterone, and one of the things you may run into is increased estrogen, because the body realizes, oh wow, look at all this testosterone. I can't use all this. I'm going to convert some of it to estrogen. Right? Guys don't directly produce estrogen. It happens in the body via a process called aromatization, where the body will aromatize, convert testosterone into estrogen. So there are substances, both chemical prescription as well as natural substances, which will mitigate, they will reduce the aromatase enzyme, okay? When there's less of that enzyme, less aromatization can occur, right? Less conversion of testosterone to estrogen. So that's a good thing. Although you do need some estrogen for muscle growth, and it's not something you want to just decimate. So Animal Stak contains that as well, a component that will harness the aromatization process. Excellent product. And there is also M-Stak. Now, M-Stak works a little bit differently. M-Stak works not by boosting your testosterone, okay, but it contains natural ingredients that are, well, they're called phytosterols, right? Which there's been a lot of debate over the years. Some people say, oh, they work. Some people say, no, it's not applicable because, they're plant steroids. Plant steroids do work, okay? The way I know is look at soy. Now, soy is an estrogen. It's a plant-based isoflavones. They're basically plant sources of estrogens, right? They do have an effect in the human body, very much so. They are relevant. They are applicable. Now, the same is true on the other side of it, with ones that can sterols that can impact the body in an anabolic manner. which, ectosterone and plenty of these other ingredients found in M-Stak, that's exactly what they do. Now, I was using this stuff years and years and years ago, and I can tell you right now, it truly works. I'll be upfront, I'll be honest, there's things that I use. Some of these products that I use cannot be used indefinitely. They have to be used in a cyclical manner, and there's periods of time when I'm off them. But being off, I want to try to preserve as much of the progress I made being on them. So I will rely on Animal Stak, M-Stak. And I'm going to tell you right now, I hang on to a whole lot more size and strength than if I was to not use them. Now, that's a pretty bold statement, okay? Because for a guy who's 280 pounds, my body doesn't want to be 280 pounds, right? I'm doing everything I can to achieve that size and to hold that size. So when I cease using a product that is partially responsible for me holding that size, the body wants to get rid of it. So if I'm able to hold on to a large portion of it using products like Stak or M-Stak, that says a lot, all right? This stuff's no joke. It really, truly does work. So for a lot of you guys out there who, you've been training, you've got your diet under control, you're eating well, you're training hard, you've got those elements in place, but you're looking for something to drive recovery, to, recover more fully and faster, because you've hit a wall, you've plateaued. Stak and M-Stak are both excellent options. And the beautiful thing is that because they work differently via different pathways, they can be used, you can cycle the two of them, right? So you can run so many weeks of Stak, take a break, and go to M-Stak immediately without there being any downtime where you're using nothing, right? So now the body doesn't get used to either one of them, all right? And you're able to keep using something to keep driving your progress, which is an awesome thing. And of course, being natural products, you don't have to worry about any kind of wacky side effects or obviously any legalities or anything like that. So, if you're someone who's looking for a product to, drive anabolism, but you're not necessarily looking to, do anything crazy, these are products that work and they're safe and they're affordable. And like I said, it's great because they can be cycled with each other and not have to go through a period where you're taking nothing. So you can kind of keep that momentum. That's all I got for you. Just wanted to kind of have this discussion, give you guys some food for thought. And also, for a lot of you guys out there who are looking for something to use to drive that, these are two great options. And even for you advanced guys who are watching this, these are two products that honestly, in between when you're, taking a break maybe from something more heavy duty, this stuff works. So that's all I got. And until next time, I'll see you guys.
BP Muscle ตัวแทนนำเข้าและจัดจำหน่ายผลิตภัณฑ์อาหารเสริมแบรนด์ Animal และ Universal รวมไปถึงอุปกรณ์ฟิตเนสแบรนด์ Grizzly อย่างเป็นทางการแต่เพียงผู้เดียว